Ye Moun la. You're listening to Karukerament EV, Karukerament, the English version. Karukerament is a podcast about the representation of the Caribbean in cinema and television. I'm your host, Patra M, and you're about to listen to a minisode dedicated to the Conch International Film Festival that will be held online from May 21st to May 23rd of 2021. And we're back. It's been like 2 weeks, I think. How have you been? Are you doing okay with the pandemic and everything? I hope you take care of yourself and of your loved ones. I know it's a difficult time for everybody, so just hang in there. We're going to get through this together. So like I said in episode 9, this episode is a special edition that I put together for the Conch International Film Festival. What is the Conch International Film Festival? It's an online film festival which celebrates unique, bold, short films and screenplays written by artists from the Caribbean and the Caribbean diaspora. The theme this year is Hero Shiro, and the film selection has different categories such as the quiet hero, the avenging hero, the anti-hero, the hopeful hero, the hero among and within us. This New York-based film festival was founded by actress, playwright, director, producer, artistic director, and founder of Conch Productions, Magali Colimon Christopher. She describes the Conch International Film Festival as, and I quote, "a space for us to remind each other our voices are vital and essential," end of quote. I realized that this was exactly the mindset that I had when I created Karukerament, and that's the reason Karukerament is also one of the film festival's media partners. And that's the reason I overcame my fear of speaking English in public. I will be moderating a panel called Caribbean Films and Language, Strategies to Highlight Authentic Narratives in a Multilingual Setting. I will give you more details along with this series of minisodes. But if you want to know more already, you can check out the Conch International Film Festival website and subscribe to my newsletter. I will put every link in the description box. As media partner, I thought it would be nice to have some of the filmmakers talk about their film, of course, but most importantly about their Caribbean identity and how it influences their visual storytelling. Let's start with Nadhege Ptah and her short film Paris Blues in Harlem. You already know what time is it? Or maybe you don't because it's your first time listening to the podcast. It's time for the Yekrik Yekrak. The Yekrik Yekrak is the segment in which I tell you the plot of the film. Paris Blues in Harlem is a short film released in 2018. It was directed by Nadhege Ptah, who has Haitian roots. Here's the plot. It's the story of a young woman and her attempts to save her grandfather's failing Harlem jazz club. She has mere hours to convince her rigid elder to accept a realtor's briefcase with mounds of cash in exchange for his nightclub. But as time runs out, he struggles to let go. With only a few seconds left, she's faced with a choice between legacy and money. Let's discuss with Nadhege a little bit more and see what Caribbean connections we have. Don't worry, there will be no spoiler. The Caribbean Connection segment is to discuss how a film makes me reflect on my identity as a Black woman, as an Afro-Caribbean woman, as a Guadeloupean woman, and as a French woman. I ask Nadhege to describe her film in 3 words.
So the 3 words is jazzy. Why? The music element is influenced by jazz, and also jazz deals with a lot of improvisation. You never know where it goes. And so that kind of wanted that story to, it aligns with the story and parallels with the story. You never know where it goes, and it hits all kinds of notes and all kinds of direction, and it's moment to moment, moment to moment. And so Jazzy's one. The second one, dramatic. The elements of drama in the story that the characters are dealing with. So it has the mood of a drama, from highs and lows and all the emotions that runs the gamut, right? And then colorful. The characters, the flavor of the characters are there, whether someone is from the Caribbean, whether someone is born there, but it just had a lot of different colors of expressions of the various characters that are in the story in and of itself.
I'm a jazz fan myself. That's the reason why I decided to start this CSIFF series with Paris Blues in Harlem. There's a lot of things to say about our approach to jazz as Caribbean people. I haven't watched the film yet, but I'm very intrigued by this question she seems to ask in the trailer. Is jazz really something from the past? I guess Nadege gives us the answer in her film, but if you want to make a connection with Guadeloupe and Martinique, the current generation of jazz musicians is on fire, which is why I definitely need to write my review on the Eddie, the Netflix series. The lack of consideration Caribbean jazz musicians get is so frustrating to me. Anyway, back to Paris Blues in Harlem. I do wonder how Nadege's Haitian roots would influence her work as a filmmaker, although she's talking about Harlem.
It influenced a lot because although I was born here, my influence and my rearing is of the Caribbean culture. So I had the opportunity to actually infuse both cultures, from the Caribbean as well as being a native born here. So it had a lot because your parents are the first who have a lot of influence in the culture from which they come from.
I really needed to know what was her first memory of a Caribbean film. It's something I'm always curious about because we always get the impression that there are no Caribbean film, there's no industry when it comes to Caribbean cultural content. Yet, people still keep creating through generations, and I wonder if we have the same artistic references. For Nadege, her first memory of a Caribbean film is Sugarcane Alley, Rue Cazenegre.
I want to pronounce her name, Yuzan Palsy, from Martinique, French West Indies. And that film, just the character of the little boy that you were following in the Caribbean just resonated so much. But that was my very first Caribbean film ever that I've seen, especially because I was born in the United States and my family are from Haiti. So I am a descendant of a family from the Caribbean.
Sugarcane Alley was shot in French and Creole, yet this film holds a special place in the history of Caribbean cinema. Sugarcane Alley is also one of my first memories of Caribbean films, but I must say, Siméon is still my favorite film by Yuzan Palsy. It's sad it didn't get to shine the way it should have, but this is a story for another day. Make sure y'all catch Paris Blues in Harlem at the Conch International Film Festival. Thank you so much, Nadege, for your time.
Merci.
Thank you for listening. You can catch up on previous episodes and read more film reviews, book reviews, music reviews on Karukerament.com. Make sure to subscribe to my newsletter and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Karukerament. You can give Karukerament 5 stars on Apple Podcast if you want the podcast to get more visibility. Make sure to get your pass for the Conch International Film Festival that will be held online from May 21st to May 23rd of 2021. Next episode will be with Crystal Adams, director of By Apple of My Eye. See you à Dans d'autres soleils. Tchambéred.